Hello and welcome everybody. It's time for another little non-duality chat. And today we're here with Leela. Hi.
Hey, hey, Andrea.
So nice to be here with you. How are you today?
Good.
It's lovely to see you. I love all your videos.
Oh,
And
thank
your
you.
voice, I feel like your voice carried the frequency even more than the words.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I smoked cigarettes for 17 years, so that helps.
I don't think that that's exactly where it's at, but, but anyway. So how did you get into non-duality? Just a little bit of background to start.
Oh, lots and lots of suffering brought me to seek, for relief. Um, Fortunately, you know, I would say. Um, I think I heard a fictional book about masters of the Far East, enlightenment, about cities and superpowers. And I researched a little bit more and realized that people do actually believe in something called enlightenment, and try to attain it. So once I heard about it, I couldn't put it down. The whole idea of liberation for me, you know.
So how did you start that search, the seeking? How did it start for you?
Uh, Listening to audiobooks, YouTube, lots and lots of obsessive listening, and I started a meditation practice. Um, got really disciplined. I would meditate a couple hours a day on average. Um, Inquiry, you know, all the things.
And when
Yeah.
did that stop then?
It was December 2023 is when it was about the same time as Indira, actually, like a
Hmm.
month apart from
Did
her.
you know each other back then or no?
No, no, I saw her interviewed on Angelo's channel,
Hmm.
and I was like jealous, How dare she?
She got something you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Interesting.
mean, just a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then what?
Um, I was doing all of the practices that Angelo recommended. I call it noticing. I forget what he calls it, but it's basically just inquiring in sense perceptions, like looking, listening, you know, sensing, um, paying attention to sensations, and you know, like having a koan, like what is this? Was mine. I would ask it and just look, in anticipation, like as if the matrix would break in front of my eyes or something. It was very intense. And anytime I had the opportunity to do that, I did. I mean, you can't do it all the time, but um,
So when you said that, did you like look visual, like the visual field, or like?
yeah, everything. I would switch it up.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was very frustrating because, you can't really control where your awareness goes. So there were insights around that, realizing that, okay, I mean, awareness goes where it wants. It wants to go back to thought all the time. Um, so it was kind of an epiphany when I really, really saw that. Um, yeah, it's funny. It was funny.
Mm, and did something shift in your perception or over time or?
I had moments of like really surreal, different states would come up. It was kind of like exploring consciousness in a way. Um, I would have these weird, surreal moments where it felt like I was floating or the world was moving past me. Like I wasn't walking in the world, but the world was just moving past me. Um, yeah, it's so hard to describe, but fleeting states like that. And moments of adrenaline, like fear, like pure terror, like a falling feeling, kind of, they would come up. And when you stare at something long enough, it starts to kind of wiggle, and you start to realize how much of an overlay you're kind of putting onto it to make it seem stable, and not like fleeting energy. But all of that restabilizes into the regular, ordinary humanness, regular perception, so um I could see like something like this in 2D, but it wouldn't last long, and it would just reacclimate back into what I'm used to, which is good. I don't want to be walking around in weird states all day.
So how is it now for you then?
How is it now for me?
Mm-hmm.
Um, it seems very ordinary. I would say it feels more like flow. Um,
But would you say it's similar to how you saw things like 10 years ago, or?
yeah, as far as perception wise,
Mhm.
yes, pretty much exactly the same.
Interesting. Because a lot
Yeah.
of people kind of report that it shifts for them somehow, but I mean, I guess it can be all kinds of different ways, but.
Yeah, it is. It's hard to describe. When somebody is describing their story, you kind of have to s- see what they mean by each word but yeah, it can be different for everybody.
Mhm. Was there like a moment where you felt something drop or shift or?
Yeah, I sought for about 6 years, and there were a few very memorable moments of deep insight that seemed to change the way I s- I perceive the world in a psychological way. Like it changed my psychological filter.
Mhm.
Um, Sort of, there was an initial awakening in the beginning, and then there was like a honeymoon phase for 6 months ish, maybe a little bit longer. I don't know. And then there was contraction again and meing and being for years and trying everything I could think of. Um, and it seemed like that tension of expansion, contraction, it came to a head to where it was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I heard myself say that. Like I knew that that was true. Um, So there were a few days when the seeking fell where there were lots of insights that just flooded in. Like I saw very clearly I wasn't thinking my thoughts. Everything became funny. Like everything the thoughts were saying was funny. I couldn't believe any of it anymore. And it was disorienting, uh, very much so, um, for like a week or so. Yeah, I just couldn't believe the thoughts anymore. And it took a couple of years after that to I feel like there's been an integration, a sort of processing the emptiness since then,
Mhm.
relatively speaking.
In what way? When you say processing, what do you mean?
Mm. So things still come up, from time to time, contractions, old triggers, feeling like invested again, like awareness is like, oh, I believe this now. Um, and it's like it comes up to be seen, for what it is. Um,
But do you actually believe it then, or not really? Like,
um, it's yeah, it's a bit of both, I would say. So it's like watching it happen, but it's like so intense and full
mhm,
on because there's less telling a story about it. I mean, there can be a story there, but it doesn't really get any traction.
mhm,
So it's just like feeling, full on feeling. Um, and it passes really quickly. There's no lead up or anticipation to it. It's just like bam, and then it's like it never happened.
mhm,
It's more like that.
mhm,
And one of yeah, that, and also I realized at some point that I was holding on to this idea of emptiness or there's no one here, that was also a comforting story, you know, sort of trying to hold on to the
hold on to
last
nothing.
bit. But that can't even be known. What does that even mean? You know what I mean? So we don't get to know. No one's right. Nobody knows any more than anybody else. And all of our perspectives are relative and they're all valid, and they're all spontaneous and free. Um, that's just my opinion, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like some people that find non-duality really kind of grab onto it as well. Like it becomes the new conclusion, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Especially
I
with you.
think that's common. I did it. It took years for me to sort of realize that it wasn't for me and that I don't get to escape life. It's not about me. It's about, it's an insight into the nature of reality, which this body happens to be a part of. But it's not a cure-all. You still have to put on your big girl panties and live. You never heard that one?
Do you ever feel like me anymore, or no?
Um, well, there can be feelings of participation and engagement, but there seem to be feelings. It doesn't say anything. There's no like conclusion or meaning behind it. It's just freedom, feeling as it always was. There was never inherent meaning or solid conclusions about these things. We cope by concluding, it's like, okay, I know how this is.
Hmm. Hmm.
So the same, anything can arise. It's just seen in a more sober, like, okay, it's this now this, now this.
Hmm. How would you even like describe non-duality now if you would put words to it?
I like the word wholeness. So seamlessness, not to. There's lots of great words out there. It's not for a person. It's not like I have non-duality. These people over there don't have non-duality. You know, um, this is whole. It doesn't matter if you have some sort of puny recognition of it or not.
Right. But maybe it changes something. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It it simplifies life, in my opinion.
hmm, hmm.
You know,
Yeah, things.
it's kind of like the Serenity Prayer. Have you ever heard of that?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, that's a great poetic description. It's like, is this helpful? Is this practical? Is it useful? Is it creative? Does it make me feel good? If so, I can totally go into that as far as thoughts and everything. Um, but it's you see the uselessness of the ruminating and trying to find meaning, and
Mhm.
that's the practical application of this. Yeah, it just simplifies.
But do you see any value in practices?
Yeah.
Like still, even now, or?
I haven't meditated like officially since the seeking fell, but sometimes I do go into those states just spontaneously, you know.
Mhm.
Um, I'm sure there's that I can be improved upon as a person, most definitely, you know. And I like the idea that there's progression, that there's process and maturing on a relative level. Um, I feel like, you know, there was hopelessness, and that led me to seek. And then I found hope in the seeking, you know, hope to become something. And then when no self was seen, that was utterly hopeless.
Mhm.
And now it's both. It's a beautiful balance of both. Whatever's needed in the moment, you know.
Mm, that sounds nice. It's a little bit more flexible than some people talk about it, you know.
Yeah, I talk about balance a lot and the paradox because it just comes up for me all the time. You know, I notice the balance in everything, the middle way. Yeah, that's what works best for my mental health.
Mhm.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, you know. There's always something valuable. You don't have to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, is what I say. So,
Oh, by the way, I wanted to ask, what was the first awakening when you mentioned the first one? What was that?
yeah, I was listening to an Eckhart Tolle book, and I started to inquire for the first time ever, in that direct looking kind of way. And it just became, well, it's hard to describe, but it just became obvious that, there's just this bizarre awakeness. And it was shocking. And I just sort of stayed in that state for about a day and a half. Um, I don't remember thoughts. I was just like staring at particles in the sky. Like I sat on the porch for hours, and then I got up the next day and sat on the porch again. Um, and then a thought came. It said, "Who will live my life?" And it all flooded back in. The
Oh.
neurotic, crazy person. And I was like, I have to get back to that. And then the seeking began.
Mhm.
So I feel like there's like little drops of glimpses and like cookie crumbs leading you along, promising you something. And you do mature, and there is less unnecessary suffering, uh, at least for me. So it's not that you don't get anything at all out of this. Um, but you don't get to escape. You have to face yourself, face what arises and feel it. That's the way through is through, not around.
But would you say that you suffer now?
Um, yes, but it's different. Um,
You would still put that label on it, or like that name on it?
well, life is suffering and I'm alive. So yeah, there's a layer of suffering that's wholly unnecessary. It's like resistance pops up, you know, and then there's like resistance to that resistance, and then resistance to that resistance. And it just piles on for eternity. But you really only need the first layer of suffering. And you can feel that. You have everything it takes to feel that. You
But
don't have to run to
is it still
imagination about it.
suffering if you don't resist it? Like, is it still suffering if you don't resist it?
That's it. That's the question, you know. If you see very clearly that, oh, it is this way, anything else that appears is imagined. And by the time you can even think of all that, it's already gone, pretty much, you know. So it's so yeah, it's suffering light.
Oh, that's funny. So, and then you started to make your videos. Like, how did it come that you wanted to speak about it and share it? And
Yeah, well, it occurred to me, you know, not long after the seeking fell that, wow, this is nothing like I thought it was. 0% what I thought it was. And it was really funny. And I was like, I have to tell people that this isn't what they think it is, you know. Not because I have to or anything, but I just want to, you know. And I probably could have waited a while and let all that sink in first, but I didn't. I was impulsive, and I just wanted to share. And you know, if you go back to some of my old videos, you'll see that the way I speak about this now is different. You know, it was more absolute, pointing to the absolute back then, and it's more and more like processed and human based now. It's more like honoring what appears as this, you know, process. So humanness. Yeah.
how did you think it was gonna be?
I didn't know. I was wondering. I was like, should I talk like a radical or should I talk like a Muji? No, I don't know. But yeah, it was difficult. I had to sort of wait and see what was going to come up. I mean, it wasn't difficult, but yeah, it was interesting, fascinating to see how it unfolds.
But I also meant in the sense of like the awakening when you said it was nothing like you thought it would be.
Hmm.
Like,
Um,
how did you think it was?
well, it's not for
Mm,
you,
mm.
you know.
That's
Um,
kind of impossible to even understand.
yeah, it's like, yeah. Um, it's about life, you know, the nature of life. You just see it with a filter that fell away. What's already, you know, it's it seems localized. It seems like a lot of different things, but it's really this ocean of energy. And it doesn't stop at your skin. It it runs through you and, you know, as far as the eye can see. It's not something you get to have. You've never been without it, you know. And therefore, whatever solutions you're looking for will be found as a dream event in the dream because your problem is in the dream, you know. So, and there's nothing wrong with practical solutions, you know. Just because you see there's no doer doesn't mean doing stops. You know, give that a try and see how that works. It doesn't.
Be done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it like a felt sense, that kind of permeating energy, or how is that?
It can be when you look for it, like the tingling in the body. you know, and you can see sort of subtle energy when you look. I mean, maybe that's just me, but if I really look, there's kind of like a staticness, you know, outside in the light, and like a hum under everything, you know. Um, yeah, I don't really know why I'm so sure that everything is just this one thing, but um, without filters, you know, without belief in that which divides thought, what else could it be? You know, this.
Do you perceive distance or
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
that kind of an overlay also? Or that's like how some people talk about it, you know?
yeah, totally. I mean, this isn't the end of conditioning. This is conditioning. You don't get to escape that, you know. And you wouldn't want to get rid of it. I mean, you wouldn't be able to cross the road without it. So this isn't transcendence. You transcend when you die. Um, yeah, duality is the miracle. That we can seem like two people having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That's not here, but here it is, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what else would an ocean of energy do but play and pretend and have relationship, you know, have something to reach out to and something to become and, you know, something to love. That's the miracle. Mm.
Oh, that's beautiful. Maybe that's a good place to end.
Okay.
It's,
Oh,
it's a nice flip, you know, from non-duality to duality. Not that it's two different things, obviously, but
right. Not to.
but
Yeah.
that's yeah, it's still nice that that's the place where you came to, you know, it's like appreciating that part more. Yeah.
All the way in a circle back to where I started.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
beautiful.
feel like a child again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If I fall and scrape my knee, I cry. You know, it's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm. Do you like work with people one on one or something like that? Or
Yeah, if they reach out, yeah. I haven't advertised it yet or anything, but
and you
yeah.
do your videos, obviously. I'll put the link to your channel so people can find you.
Oh, thank you. I'll make a post on my channel too, sharing back to the video.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, thank you so much for talking to me.
Oh, thank you, Andrea. Maybe we'll talk again
I hope
soon.
so. Much
Okay.
love. Take care.
You
Bye.
too. Bye.